Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is May 26th, and it is the official full moon in Sagittarius. My moon is in Sagittarius, which explains a little bit of how I'm feeling with my energy. However, let's talk a little bit about Sagittarius because that energy is, nothing like the energy of Aquarius season. Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it is symbolized by that arrow. And you will often see, thank you, Stephanie. Yes, I checked before I got on, and it stayed in my brain. Sagittarius is often symbolized by a horse lady shooting her bow and arrow, or a horseman shooting his bow and arrow. What is that called? Is that a centaur? Horse energy is big with Sagittarius, and I want to talk a little bit about that today because horses were in my dreams last night, so I don't know, it's interesting. Horse energy can sometimes be about allowing others to help you through different legs of your journey. So thinking about that for this particular full moon, what places in your life are you willing and able to allow a little assistance, to allow somebody to give you a ride? Can you walk on your own 2 feet? Yeah, of course. But wouldn't it be nice if somebody gave you a ride, right? So think about those places because that's what the eclipse season does. It gives us a ride, a fast one. Eclipse season is portal season. It marks big shifts and big changes collectively and personally, because anything that happens collectively also happens on some personal level for us as well, as above, so below. So as the eclipse energy starts to really ramp up here, where can you allow that energy to assist you in your own movements, and where do you want to go? Interestingly enough, this particular moon, and I said this last night, it doesn't necessarily need you to do anything particular. We didn't write down anything, we didn't burn anything, because right now it's all about affirming yourself and feeling confident in the choices that you've already made, and feeling confident in your energy and how you express that to the world around you. We need you, all of you, to be your own unique selves now, because everybody trying to be the same is not working for us. And all of your unique energy is going to contribute to really bringing in new earth. You guys are doing it. We're all doing it by being ourselves and by tapping into the things that make us us. So with this particular full moon, really looking at the places that you have seen in yourself as weaknesses, things that you have hidden from others or not been proud of, just felt were issues that you had, things where trauma has carved out a little place inside of you. These are the places where you're going to find your superpowers. I've been saying that for a minute, but it's really true. And we talked a lot about this in the call last night, about how so many of us were raised in families where we had to be the emotional caretaker for adults and for those around us. And that, of course, can express itself in so many different ways. But being that person when you're a child means you don't get to be a kid. And it means when you're an adult, you have ways of behaving that mitigate danger, mitigate drama, create safe space. And you are probably always the person that people come to when they need something fixed. And now is the time to kind of flip the script on all of that, because you've had your training in it, and it is your superpower. Your superpower is your incredible emotional acuity. And now turning that around and allowing yourself to trust your emotions whereas maybe you didn't before. And that's going to really lead you in a direction that feels really good for you and feels really authentic. And hey, maybe it's scary a little sometimes because new things often are, but scary in a good way, right? On the other side of that, what's there? Some brand new frontier, some new horizon, and lots of new experiences. So there is a quiet feeling this morning. It's kind of like the calm before the storm. It feels like, quite honestly, it's like this little dip. And I'm feeling that the energy today is going to really ramp up as we continue on through our day, because Sagittarius energy is not this. Like I'm like hearing myself and I sound so calm, and that was not me last night. So I'm also tired, but still, I feel very calm right now and pretty grounded, which again, it's not usually my full moon way of being. Sagittarius energy is fiery and expansive, and it's very much hitch a ride and let's go for the stars kind of energy. So as you move through this day, kind of keep that in mind, right? You don't have to stay where you are. You are moving, you are constantly evolving. The energy is shifting fast. And don't forget, we are rolling up on Mercury Retrograde. We are quite in the shadow, quite in the shadow of it. It's officially turning retrograde on the 29th. So that's 3 days. So I guess we'll talk more about that on Friday because it'll happen Saturday. Does that sound right to you? Whatever, soon enough. But with Mercury going retrograde, I've had actually a lot of people ask me very like normal retrograde questions like, should I not sign the divorce papers? Should I not buy a house? Should I not do this? Should I not do that? And I would really like to dive into that for just a second, because I don't really like the energy of the astrology says I can't do this. That doesn't seem quite right to me. Your astrology, your astrological chart, and the way that the planets interact with us on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, that's not to dictate how we should live our lives. It's a navigation tool, right? It's a compass. It is kind of also a weather forecast so that we can have a heads up on what the energy is doing and make informed decisions that align with what we need and with what's going on in our life, and use the energy to support our endeavors. So traditionally, when you Google Mercury retrograde, it'll say your electronics are gonna really fuck up and you shouldn't sign any contracts or make any big agreements or anything like that, right? Sure, sure, you could live it that way, but that's not usually how life is, right? Mercury goes retrograde 3-4 times a year. During that span of time, do you just literally not do anything? No, absolutely not. But understanding that Mercury is in retrograde and Mercury does rule the house of communication, right? And interaction and technology, you can come into this season just knowing that you should take a little bit of care with sensitive things, back up your documents, if we do that anymore, right? Have a few copies of things. And if you are signing an agreement or buying a house or whatever that is, just really listen to yourself. Does something need to be double checked? Is there something off in that inspection that you would have not looked at, but you feel like maybe you should look at it? Just read through things, be diligent, and be flexible. Because how this usually translates is holdups, right? Pauses. So let's say you start the process of house buying during Mercury retrograde. You can probably count on things taking a little longer than usual, or missing a call that then makes a meeting get canceled, and stuff like that, right? And so it's more about being in flow and understanding that's how the energy is working right now, and trust that since you are in flow, it'll all work out to your highest good, because that's how you roll now, right? We don't get stressed out about things like that we can't even control, because we know it'll all shake out for our highest good. And us stressing about it doesn't do a damn thing except exacerbate the situation. So rolling into this retrograde or any retrograde, don't have that feeling. Just know that's what the energy is doing. It's retrograding. It is slowing down. It's a great time to reassess some things in your business, in your personal life. And like I've been saying, it's a really great time for us to take a minute and look at what we've accomplished over the past 6 months. What have you done so much? A lot of what you've done has been inside work, which sometimes we can completely overlook and not even give ourselves credit for. So maybe take some time during this retrograde where things are slowing down to really take stock of everything that you've done, all of the shifts that you've made, all of the realizations you've had. Look at all of the toxicity that's no longer in your life, right? All of those things, look at them. It's a very important period of time. And when retrograde comes and slows you down, let yourself be slowed down. Because what happens after retrograde? Fast, 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 fast. After retrograde, it is the freaking summer solstice. It is not going to be slow. It is going to be fast. It's going to be crazy. And that is the date that, when we were doing the channeling on the split, that is the date of the split. So I'm just saying that if it's a slowdown you're getting, let yourself take a break and slow down. So I hope that makes sense. I really want you guys to feel confident as we head into retrograde periods, because the astrology is here to support you. It is not here to dictate your life to you or to make you feel like you have your hands tied and you can't do things you want to do or anything like that. And specifically for you guys who have been hopping on and getting private readings from me, you'll notice that I have been pulling up all of your charts and talking to you about them because, as things evolve, they're evolving with me as well. And that has become a very integral part of connecting with you, because knowing your astrological chart and understanding those aspects about yourself allows you to navigate your life with true understanding of how you're made. Everybody is made so different, especially when you consider that you can have a different moon, rising, and sun sign, right? 3 different energies right there. Those might be the 3 that you think completely dictate all areas of your life, but they don't. You might have a Venus in something completely different that says you need something else in relationships that has nothing to do with any of your big 3. So understanding where you are astrologically will give you a vehicle that makes sense to ride in as you navigate life, and will help you from being so frustrated while you're trying to be somebody that you're not. Because most of us do that, right? There's been a very specific type of person that's been portrayed as the ideal person. It's kind of like very grounded earth sign, very logical, has emotions in check, is very consistent and linear, and blah, blah, blah. If that's you, great. It's not me. So if you're not that and you've been trying to be that all your life, it's likely not felt great. But wouldn't it be so liberating to know that that's just not how you operate? And instead of fighting your own internal flow, you flow with it and actually get some things done and have fun while doing it? It's very liberating. So the astrology is important. It is a navigational tool just like everything else. So I hope that that's helpful for you guys. I will be opening up readings for next week. I've had a lot of requests for them, and I'm checking my energy and just making sure that I'm up for it, but I feel okay. I feel all right. So I'll open up a couple readings for next week. Those will go out to people who are on the text message alerts first, and then maybe a day later I'll post them on Instagram. Okay, and I have a card for you guys, because we didn't pull from this deck the other day, and it is the Sacred Devils. Hi, everybody. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Rosa. Hi, Chad. I'm sorry that I can't wave at you, but I have my phone propped up very precariously. All right, let's see what your card is for this day. This is not, oddly enough, this is not the full moon card, because we already pulled that during the call, and I don't want to mess with that energy, but this is a card for you guys. Do you have a question about something? Do you need a little clarification? Need a little motivation? affirmation, take a minute, take a nice deep breath, and think of what you need to know. Or ask a question, or just say, what do I need to know today? And then this one will be for you, okay? And also, P.S., do you have TikTok? Because I'm getting on TikTok at like 10-ish, like 10, between 10 and 10:10. Between that, maybe 10:10. And I'm gonna be doing live card pulls on TikTok only. I'm not doing it anywhere else. So if you have the TikTok, find me there, Sarah Amala, and I will be going live in the 10 o'clock-ish time and doing live card pulls there, like, you know, mini readings, mini card pulls. So if you're available and feel like playing with me, that's what I'll be doing. All right. Did you ask your question? We good? All right. This is us right here. Oh. The card we have is also the card from the box, from the Sacred Rebels deck. So that seems cool. On here, and I'll put this in my story so you can look at it, but on here, there's a galaxy, there's a sacred shell with a spiral, there's some blue eggs, there's DNA strands, like, it's very interesting. It says, it's number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. I'm intrigued. Story time. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our minds, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within. Yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is an endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. That sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the great universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires, energizes, and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind, which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways, and responding to what is before it, even occurs in the physical world. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. The mind sees, plans, and strategizes. The heart feels, responds, senses, and intuits. When we walk the path of the heart, we must feel and respond rather than plan our way. It is a different way to live and create. It is closer to the earth and to the source of life itself. It is not for those who are lacking in courage and trust, but you are not one of those. You are being asked to trust your heart and to drop into it. The mind is important, but it cannot supplant the heart. The role of the mind is to serve the truths of the heart. That is, to create the spacious chamber of receptiveness into which the sacred rhythm of your heartbeat can resound. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Deep within, you know what to do, and you know what is true. It matters not whether the mind and its plans seem to agree with your inner sense. Your willingness to trust your heart and to rebel against fear will serve you well. Let your heart lead you. Be sure of your faith and trust in what you feel. Your head and heart have been in conflict at times over the course of your life. This has brought you struggle and sometimes deep suffering. However, this oracle brings you the message that a truce will soon be declared, and the appropriate outcome of the mind waving the white flag of surrender is imminent. Soon, if not already, you will finally be feeling that your heart is leading you. You will feel that your mind is learning to follow the guidance of your heart rather than trying to be out front, seeing and sorting everything out in advance in order to be safe. What a relief to let go of this old way. Your mind can become more relaxed and trusting. There will be a period of adjustment as you get used to living without so much foresight, but with more insight, wisdom, and energy in the present moment to create. If you are finding that you cannot plan or strategize as you once did, or you feel that you know less than you ever have known about where you are heading or how you are supposed to get there, then this oracle comes as confirmation that these are healthy signs of a shift from head to heart. You are not proceeding in error. You are exactly where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. You are now in a position that is more powerful than ever because you are allowing yourself to be guided by your heart, a heart that beats in harmony with the heart of all existence. Your affairs are in accord with love, and no matter what may appear to be at times, all is unfolding according to the great love, you included. Well, that was very calming and supportive, which feels like the energy right now before it shifts into whatever it's heading into. I hope you guys have an amazing Wednesday and an awesome full moon in Sagittarius. I'll be here tomorrow night, which is Thursday, for live channeling at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And back again Friday morning for more Talkie Talks, talking about retrograde. I'll post this in my stories so you can look at the picture and read it should you want to. And like I said, I'll be posting availabilities later today. I love you. Have an amazing day. If this has helped you in some way, please share. Mwah! Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.